Hello, my dreamers and believers. It's your girl, Latina Raven, and this show is called On the Way to Famous. On this show, we take the artists back to their humble beginnings and we follow their journey from dream to reality and all the struggles in between. Now, my guests this week, they are from the fabulous freestyle scene, okay? Back in the late 80s and early 90s, you couldn't be in any hood without listening to freestyle music and listening to songs like The Search, Intimate Strangers, and What I'm Feeling. So my guests today are none other than, can you guess? Nas-T Boyz. Woo!
Thank you for having me.
Hey. Hi, guys. Thank you for being on my show. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
So I know that we are all from the Boogie Down Bronx. Now, who wants to go first? Because we want to know what you guys were like when you were like itty bitty titty.
All right, so I was probably one of those jack of all trades in the midst of everything. I was running track, I was doing gymnastics, I was doing martial arts. I was all over the place. So it didn't matter. I was always outside, climbing trees, flipping over cars, doing handstands, trying to walk up and down steps, falling all over the place. I was just a street kid. I was just out having a good time, running around, acting crazy. I was just wild. I think I got ADHD or something.
That's what they call it now, right? Yeah.
And during that is where I met him and found him. We were neighbors, and I was already a male stripper. I was stripping at the time, and Twishon always had a physique. So I approached him and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm looking for another guy to do some stripping." And, you know, he looked at me. He's like, "Man, I'm only 17 years old." And I said, "Well, I'm breaking you in at that age," you know. So he was the youngest from the group. So we got into stripping, and from there we just, you know, launched into the music scene with, you know, our stripping. So we converted that into singing and stripping to where, you know, we end up meeting a recording artist that was in the freestyle industry, and me and him approached her about dancing for her. So it was history after that. History.
So
I mean, we went to the next level.
Yeah. So see, now I got to bring you back a little bit because so you said that you were stripping, right?
Yeah.
So a girl want to know, did you guys do good in that area?
So
I'm gonna let him answer.
Let's see. Okay, so this is what happened. So after he brought me in, we were doing little small side shows here and there for like lingerie parties and get-togethers with the ladies that we would showcase some of the material and stuff that they were selling. After that, he's branched away and stepped away and didn't do it for a while. I kind of like took the ball and ran with it completely. Started making my own outfits, making show tapes, took it to big clubs all over the Bronx, with Queens, Manhattan. I was everywhere. So I kind of like took it to the point where they was actually having a contest for who was the best stripper in specific weight classes. And I ended up being the champion in the lightweight class in New York as the lightweight stripping champion. So I took it a little bit further than he did.
Oh yeah, he did. He took it beyond.
Right. So none of you.
He holds a belt. Just to let you guys
Still
know,
got the belt.
He has the belt and he still holds the title. Nobody has taken that belt from him. People are looking for him and he's like, you can't touch this. It is what.
That is awesome. So wait, so then none of y'all ended up joining Chippendales.
The Chippendales wouldn't take us. We were too much for Chippendales.
Yeah.
They said we weren't tall enough actually because they had a height requirement for it. And two, our style was just too unrestricted compared to their restricted style. They had a very restricted and concerned style, conservative style where we didn't care. We was free for all, man. We just went, you know what I'm saying? Like
we didn't care.
We came to one of our shows, it was on and popping, and you know,
if
probably left without a piece of clothing or something. I don't know.
We came home with G-strings. It wasn't out. things were being tossed to us that it was just unreal. Bras, panties. I mean, I even got some grandma drawers. And
I got some wigs. I got some wigs too.
Yes.
I pulled off a couple weaves. Just saying. So you know,
yeah, it was unreal.
It got wild. Chippendale didn't want.
Yeah, they can't handle that. They couldn't handle the Nas-T Boyz.
Yeah, and hence where the name might have came from, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, all right.
I absolutely love it. I love it. So did you end up going back into stripping?
Who, me?
Yes.
I did a few more times, but then, you know, the music industry ended up picking up and it took off to where that's where the Nas-T Boyz came in, you know, because at that time when Twishon was stripping, I was creating all of our, you know, contacts to get the group, you know, back out there with the second album, you know, that Twishon wrote the second album, pretty much the whole album. So, you know, we were in the lab, we were back in the studio recording for the second album and, you know, getting the group back out in the scene. So he still holds the belt. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Nah, I hear you. I hear you. So just bringing you back a little bit, when you guys were growing up, what was your household like as far as with music and people that you admire and stuff like that? Was that existing or?
All genres I listened to, but mainly it was a lot of old school. Stevie Wonder, Jackson 5s, stuff like that. Teddy Pendergrass, the very, very old school. Al Green's, you know, those classics I used to listen to quite a bit. But then I patterned a style of mine behind the newer guys, the Genuines, and the, you know what I'm saying, the more recent guys at that time. I kind of patterned my style around. I have no vocal training, so what I would do is just mimic what I heard and then make it my own style with my own riffs and stuff like that. So my household was pretty much whatever music hit the scene and you heard me singing up and down the steps and all over the place. I was singing, flipping, and stripping at the same time.
So that's your version of the triple threat, huh?
Facts.
Facts. Okay, how about you?
Well, in my household, you know, my family's, you know, we Latinos, you know, Puerto Rican, you know, and my mom was a very famous dancer, choreographer back in the 50s and the 60s, you know, so she would be dancing for a lot of these famous Latin artists, you know, like Celia Cruz, Tito Puente, you know, and so forth. And my dad was in a 4-guy group that used to sing doo-wop. That group was called the Emeralds. So there was into, you know, I used to watch my dad rehearse and stuff like that. So, you know, my house was about music.
Nice. Okay. So then now you guys knew each other, you were neighbors. So tell me a little bit about how you guys got together and where your third member is.
So I used to watch him on top of his roof flying pigeons. He used to be up there clapping and a whole bunch of pigeons flying around. So I'm like, who's this dude up there? You know, then he finally approached me. He said he was doing this. He worked out, I worked out. So we had, you know, quite a bit of things in common. And he knew another guy, which was at the time, Kid Smurf, Jovel now, who was the third member of the group. So he brought him along. The idea to create the group came from Jay. He wanted to get us on the scene as a duo because we had a decent look at the time. So we were still dabbing in the stripping because all of us had some type of physique. And during one of the shows, you know, one of the audience members, females, was like, "Oh, y'all some Nas-T Boyz." So Javel, being the quick-minded person that he is, and yeah, he said, "Yo, we should call ourselves the Nas-T Boyz." And we kind of ran with it from there. Now, the spelling kind of changed because I didn't want any legal actions with anybody here. I think there was a wrestling group called Nas-T Boyz and stuff like that. So I didn't want that to be in. So I changed it around, you know, took out the Y, put a dash in there with the T instead of an S, put a Z. And then I created the logo with the muscle and all that good stuff on it, just to give us, you know, something to
identify us.
So that's pretty much how it came along. You know, it got created and then revamped and put in to match us.
Yeah.
And so how did you come up with Twilight, J-Love, and Kid Smurf? Like, where do those names come from? As
for me, Twilight is the darkest hour right before the dawn. I'm the darkest member of the group.
Ay.
And J Love happened to be, I love the women. You know what I'm saying? I loved the women, and everybody used to call me J Love. I used to like dab on DJing back in the days too, house parties. And they used to call me DJ, J Love. And I went with that. But then we changed.
And I think, I don't know why he came up with Kid Smurf. Maybe because he was the shortest member of the group. Could be not. I don't know. Yeah. But he came to us with that name. So.
Oh my goodness.
So when we came to the second album is where we decided to change our names, because now we're more adults and we wanted to branch off into pop R&B, not freestyle, because, in reality, that's where we were beginning to do it before we got introduced into freestyle. Like when we signed with the record label Honor Roll Records, we didn't know it was a freestyle label. We just thought it was a record label giving us an opportunity to get in the studio and record some songs. And behold, this sound of freestyle came out there. We both didn't know what that was. The other member did kind of, but we didn't. We were like, okay, So that's why our albums and our songs, the sound is totally different. He doesn't sound like a freestyle singer. He sounds like an R&B singer. So it gave it some amp to that, to where the songs, were hits. What I'm Feeling was our first song. And you listen to What I'm Feeling, you could tell that this guy's not a freestyle singer, the way he sings it. The Search definitely is a pop song, and a crossover. And then Intimate Strangers was a summer song that, had that pop mix into it, because there was a pop freestyle singer that did the demo, and Twishon took it to a whole different level.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that album,
you go, girl.
I am a fan, a legit fan, and I have it.
Awesome.
You remember that? Do you see yourselves? Oh my goodness.
I had a mustache.
How do you feel? How do you feel when you see this album?
Hey, it's a part of our history. So it's what was going through our mind at the time with outfits, the posing. It was for the time, and hey, I got nothing but love for that. I mean, we went with it, and it is what it is.
And if you see the logo there, it says Nas-T Boyz in the front. In the front, the logo. That album, Twishon, was the one that made that cover.
Yeah.
That's the logo that he did. So
right.
That logo was also on my arm. Nas-T Boyz for life.
Well, I mean, since we're showing tattoos, show everything, because it looks good.
You don't want to go there, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to go there. Well, let me show you the one.
I might, on this show, I can go there as mine.
But that's Latina, huh?
Puerto Riqueña.
Another Boricua. There you go. Boricua represent.
Yeah, and from the Bronx, so hey.
What part of the Bronx you at?
Right now, Allerton.
Okay. We are from Toppings Avenue, 175th.
Right around the Tremont Ave and Grand Concourse area.
Yeah. I know where that's at. I used to be over there by Clifford and all of that, so I know exactly where you at. Let me see yours. Let me see your tattoos, Twilight.
I just got two on this side. I actually have one across the back that has Nature written on it, which is the stage name I used when I was stripping.
Okay. So, got it. So one of my favorite songs off of this album isn't even the three that you guys are known for. I really love Beating of My Heart. What was that song about?
So the story behind that song. And so here's what happened with that. So I got, as the lead singer, I got presented the songs to sing. I sang the demo for the song, and I didn't care for the song that much as far as my voice matching the song. I liked the song. My voice just didn't match the song. So they pushed it over, and we gave it to Kid Smurf, at the time Kid Smurf, JaVale now. Did a great job with it. We just never put it out. The group went through some trials and tribulations, and we went our separate ways before we actually pushed out a fourth song for that album. So we didn't push anything out. It still gets played. I think DJs might spin it every now and again on the platform. So yes, it does get played. But yeah, we didn't get a chance to push anything out with that one.
Okay. Okay.
Just felt like my voice didn't match it, so handed over to do it, and he got his chance.
So now, do you guys remember, after doing all the hard work, after recording the album and all of that, where you guys were when you first heard your song played on the radio?
Specifically, we were working for a sheet metal company down in I think it was Manhattan, and we were, you know, I'm on one side of the shop crimping my sheet metal. He's on another side of the shop. We got our little radio next to us, and the music started playing. And actually, I almost lost a finger due to that.
Yeah, I remember.
Because I was spinning the sheetrock with the thin metal, and the song came on, and I went to go, yo, Jay, a song is on, and I spun the sheet metal, and it sliced my finger. So the music, our song is playing. I'm happy the song is playing. I'm bleeding to death. He's happy. Our managers, our boss is like, why don't you just relax, take him to the hospital so he can get his finger checked out. But I wanted to finish hearing the song on the radio. But yeah, we were working for a sheet metal company. And when the song came on, we was like, we thought we had made it big and we was gonna move out of the hood and, you know, get a 10-car mansion and shit off of one song. So.
Listen, we all quit the next week.
Oh my God.
We did. We quit the sheet metal company too.
Because
right away.
We got booked heavily.
We were getting booked hard.
Right after the song got on the radio, we were constantly booked. Our first
we were doing
show,
like 3 or 4 shows a weekend.
Oh yeah, we were constantly booked for like 2 or 3 years straight.
We was
like
changing
non-stop.
in the limo to go to the next show. We didn't even have dressing rooms. It was like in the limo, throwing clothes off, like make this turn left, putting on pants. Yeah, you know, it
dressing for the next show.
It was for the next show. It was chaotic, but it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the hustle, right? That's the kind of stories that I like to tell, you know, because people only see the glitz and the glamour. They never, ever see the struggle. They don't know about it, how hard it is, all the time, blood, sweat, and tears that you got to put in order to make it. And then even when you're doing that, you got to work even twice as hard to stay on top, right? Yeah. So what were some of the actual trials and tribulations you had to go through in order to, or sacrifices rather, you had to make in order to make your dreams come true?
Oof. Countless rehearsals in the basement. We also had to figure out what outfits to wear with 3 different mindsets. You have to come to a medium on outfits and styles, because I had a different dress style than he did, and he had a different dress style than Javel did. So when we had to sit down and come to an outfit, we had to fight amongst our brains in order to say, okay, I would wear this. Oh no, I wouldn't wear that. This is nice. Let's not wear that. So that was a struggle. Then dance moves, choreography. I did a lot of the choreography. So I'm very athletic. I do gymnastics and martial arts. So I'm very, very athletic. So a lot of the moves I had to switch and fit the group because they couldn't flip. I couldn't flip. I mean, I could flip, they couldn't. So I had to incorporate him into me doing flips, and then incorporate Javel into specific moves while we were doing flips. And then it was just a lot of things they had to be put into play, and for us to meet in the middle to say, okay, this is gonna work on stage, to sing, to dance, to flip, to interact with the audience, to keep the outfits on, know when to take the top off, know when to entice the ladies, know when to talk to the gentlemen. So it was just, it's kind of a giant balancing act when we got on stage, because there was so many things that we could do while we were on stage, which to remember it all was just.
And mind you, we rehearse, and then when we get to a stage, it's 4x4 with 3 guys. So now we got to deal with a stage that only fits one person, but you got 3 guys trying to do choreography.
Small stage.
In a small stage.
Giants, 3 people flipping around, handstands, jumping over each other. We had
to deal with that because our choreography had a lot of movement, a lot of dancing.
It was eccentric.
You know, we just definitely didn't stand still amongst us. So that was another thing that we always had to put into play of just like, okay, what about this stage? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now we have to change the routine because of this, you know? So it was a lot.
It was last minute. It was like right before we go on stage, you know, they might not have mic stands, or the stage is small and they might have monitors in the way. So we're like, all right, during this flip, we're not going to do it on this song. And like, okay. And we have to remember that we're not going to do that on this song. And then, you know, make last minute changes, 30 seconds to a minute before it's time to hit the stage.
Microphones with cables, that's in the way.
Yeah.
They're running across the front. Like all those things is all into play that we have to pay attention to. We have to, change our routines because of those things. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that those are the things that puts on a good show and also takes away from putting on a good show.
Yeah, and then all the personalities is almost like a marriage, right? You got to get along, you got to be in sync, you got to make sure that it's going to work for everybody so that you can have a good show. And if you ever like trip or fall or anything like that over, oh wow.
I dropped him on his head
several times,
a couple times,
okay,
during a flip.
And it's on video.
And it's on video.
It's on TV. Yeah,
it happens,
Yeah.
But ain't nobody saying that about me going through a stage.
Oh no, he went through a stage one time. Then I flip. I turn around. He's gone. I'm going to reach to get him.
Collapsed. There was a hole in the stage where I landed.
Oh my Jesus!
So went straight through.
Things.
I'm like, you want to pick up some lunch while you're down there?
Yeah, but see, this is what makes the journey amazing, right? Because now you can look back at that, you can laugh at it, and it makes you stronger as a performer because you done went through all the mistakes, all the embarrassment, and you kept going, and that's the professionalism of this business, right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Definitely.
So then you heard your song, you were bleeding to death or what have you, but you was excited. You guys did your tours for about a couple of years and all of this. Now, when you was on tour with like, say, other freestyle artists, were you like in awe of them? Did you get to meet any of your idols that you grew up with? That doesn't have to be in the freestyle industry, just in general.
With me, the fact of once I got introduced to the freestyle and I started seeing all these artists like Stevie B, Coro, TKA, Tony Moran, we at one time, I remember before we even got into recording our first song, we went to a club in New York. Yeah, I think it was Roseland. And it was a big freestyle concert. And Javelle, showed us who these freestyle artists was. And that day it was Coro, George Lamont, Tony Moran. And we said, okay, I'm going after him. Oh, I'm going after him. You know what I'm saying? Like those were like, we looked at our role models, but competition, at the time, because we saw how physique they looked. Tony Moran was in great shape. So was Coro at that time. Edmund. Yeah. Edmund was in great shape too. There's another freestyle artist. So when we looked at those guys, we said, yo, we need to think outside the box and be better.
So I think we put ourselves already on the stage, to caveat on what he said. We saw ourselves there already. So I don't think we were starstruck. Right. We were like, we're going to be there. Like, we're going to be right next to them. We have a look, and all we need is the right sound to go with us. And when we get on, if you put us in front of somebody, it's a wrap. We're going to put on a show. So we already saw ourselves on there. We just needed that springboard to get us to where we need to get to. So starstruck, no. Happy and blessed to be around them for as long as we have and to know them. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
But, so you guys weren't even nervous?
No.
How you gonna be half naked in front of so many different people and then have to put on clothes and stand in front of the same amount of people and sing? There's no being nervous.
And believe it or not, it's funny. And throughout the years, we know who they are. I know everybody. We know everybody in the freestyle industry personally. You know what I'm saying? Like they see us and they know who we are and they give us love and respect. Me, I've been backstage with them, a couple of years ago, and every single one of them, from George Lamont to TKA to Stevie B, they all said, you guys made us step up our game.
Nice.
When Boys came out, you guys made us work out, do choreography, you know what I'm saying? Get the show tight because your guys' show was unreal. It was so good, so tight. And the women went crazy for you guys. So, and I heard this from their mouths, from TKA's mouth, from George Lamont's mouth, from Stevie B's mouth, Coro. Every single one of them said that we were that role model for them. And it was crazy because we would look at them and be like, yeah, we're trying to get there. We're trying to get to where you at. Trying to get to that status. And next thing you know, we got there. And when we got there, then, years later, these guys, told me this personally, and I felt good knowing that we were a role model to these that were here before us.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. It was good. Shout outs to all of them. Love them all, man. Everybody in the freestyle industry, you know, mad love to them because they still doing it. They're still grinding. They're still keeping it alive, you know, and, you know, they're giving us the chance to get back out there and do what we do as well. And, you know, we got shows coming up with, you know, some of the freestyle legends, and we're excited to be.
We'll cross paths with them again.
Yeah. You know, we're looking forward to getting back up there with them and sharing that stage with them and showing love, you know, and do what we do best.
Yeah.
A good show.
So to bring you back a little bit, in the beginning, you said you didn't know what freestyle music was, right? So for those that watch this that have no clue what freestyle is, how would you describe it to them?
It's urban dance music, you know. Somebody gave it the name freestyle, you know, that to me, it just doesn't relate to what the song's about. It's love music. It's love songs, you know. It's about relationships and you know, life in the freestyle industry, you know what I'm saying? It's a title by itself, you know? So the label really is urban dance music, but people gave it the word freestyle, you know, and that's what it is. So it's for all you guys that's watching and listening, you know, it's urban dance music, freestyle.
Yeah.
It's like, it's, you know, freestyle is like hip hop to everybody in the hip hop. This is our hip hop.
Yeah.
Freestyle. This is our hip hop. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was dominated in the hood by the Latinos and the Italians mostly, you know. They love freestyle music. And so, yeah. And so getting a little personal, Twilight, you was in the military?
21 years, just retired.
21 years. Thank you for your service, by the way. What were you, a Marine or?
I was Army.
Army? Okay,
Yep.
so you was in the Army. My daughter wants to be in the Marines, so you know, and she's like 16 right now. So yeah, rah. And then so if you weren't doing
boots, what is it?
Ooh.
The Marines, they call them boots.
I'm not a Marine.
Or he won't know that.
no, he's an Army guy. So oh my God, you guys are funny. I don't know. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to.
Listen, this is us.
Yo,
right?
all day.
This is like night and day, all day, funny ass characters. This is us. You know, one thing about this relationship here for over 30 years is the respect we have for each other.
Right.
It's real. You know, he grounds me because I'm a go-getter, you know, and I need that because I'm the business type of this whole thing. I think business. He's music. He's the music.
Writer,
production, composer.
I'm behind the scene composer. Yeah, I'm that guy.
Right now, as we speak, he's creating our new song that is fire. Right now, as we speak. We took a break.
Yeah, we had to take a break. I was in the lab.
Because he's just creating new stuff for us, you know. So get ready, guys. We got some new stuff coming out. Twishon is
pen game is crazy.
Crazy. But yes, that's what we have. We have this relationship that is just unreal, and I love him to death. I respect him as my brother, and that's it. The line here is no line. It's just who we are, you know.
Family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Family gets on your nerves.
And fuck yeah. I want to choke his ass.
Oh my God.
I'm just joking.
Nah, it's all good though. I believe it. Don't worry about it. But see now, whatever y'all working on, I would love to have it so I can like mix it and play around.
Oh yeah, once we get everything finished, DJs are gonna get copies by the bundles.
You're gonna be the first one to get it. How's that?
Exclusive.
All right.
Y'all heard it here, so you know I'm gonna hold y'all to it. I want a Nas-T Boyz shirt too, so I can rep it when I'm playing.
And speaking of the devil, right now that's in the lab, we're creating new products and new merchandise for the Nas-T Boyz. Since we're coming back out, we're gonna have all kind of stuff: hoodies, t-shirts, or we're gonna have all kind of wild stuff. Trust me.
It's funny.
We're gonna send you a package.
They're in the studio recording right. They're in the studio right now creating new
all this stuff pressed. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on.
And if you got an event coming up, let us know. We'll come down. We'll come down. Great show.
I do. I have one in Chicago and one in Miami.
That.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Just get in touch with Carol, you know, and Carol's, you know, our manager. She would take care of whatever needs to be taken care of with you.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So if you guys weren't the Nas-T Boyz,
We
If
won't be nasty girls. Okay,
wasn't
so we're gonna stay nasty boys. I don't know if we wasn't a nasty boy. I ain't gonna be no nasty girl. Right? Stop at me. I ain't gonna happen here. All right.
oh my God. Yo, y'all making my stomach hurt. It's all good. Listen, I'm trying to be professional. All right, now. Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. But it is one of the questions I asked. If you guys weren't doing music, what would you be doing with your lives?
Oof. Oof. Ow. Wow. You know what? I would probably, you know what? I'm a personal trainer. So I'd probably just stay in the fitness realm and just and train people. Celebrity fitness, music, and you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I'll just stay in the fitness because I'm into fitness. That's all I do. Work out. So it would definitely be fitness related. The military would probably still be in you know, in my lifetime. I would go ahead, still go through the military, but I think I'll just stay in fitness like I'm doing now. You know, singing is just a fun thing to do, but get other people in shape and torture others.
Fail.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
I will listen. I'm a handyman. I'm always into building stuff. You know, designing, creating. That probably would be my field because I'm such a creator to build stuff. Like that would be me. I will build homes, design homes, and you know, that would be me.
That's awesome. That is amazing. It's amazing. So now, if let's see, what would be your advice to anyone that wants to go into the industry, regardless of what it is that they're trying to do?
Have thick skin. All right. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. The music industry is very, 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 very harsh and cutthroat. So have thick skin so that when either you don't get the production you want, you don't meet the producer you want, you don't get the manager you want, you don't get the money you want. Like when those things happen, don't get frustrated. Just get ahead, get up, dust yourself off, cool, no problem, and move on. Decide who you want to deal with and who you don't want to deal with. And if you do want to deal with someone, they may have a means to an end for you. You can keep it professional. You don't have a personal relationship with them all the time. So just have thick skin when you come into this business and know what you are worth. Right? Yeah. Know what you are worth. Have your style, run with that style. I don't care who laughs. I don't care who you get. You know how many times they told us, why you guys take your clothes off? Why you always showing this? Why you always showing that? That's the style. That's us. That's what we've been doing before we were singing. That's just our personality. So,
I mean, we ended up getting clubs shut down because we took our clothes off.
Facts.
The mayor of New York, was it, or Jersey, that shut us down? In Jersey. Yeah, so. Told us, don't, if they take our clothes, they're shutting the club down.
And we didn't care.
We did.
It was part of the show.
They have told us a couple times. Oh yeah.
And then they did it.
Don't take it off. We did. That's part of our show. You're taking away what we are, the Nas-T Boyz. We're not giving the fans what they came out to see. They wanted to come see. They want to see our asses. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. They want to see our asses. Butt ass naked up there and shit. You know what I'm saying? These damn girls son frecas. You know, but.
You know, I'm like, yo, I need them dollars. I need them dollars.
That's what it was. But my take in the industry is that just more or less like what Twice said, you got to be strong. You got to be ready for no's, you know, and no doesn't exist in my vocabulary. I take no as a you know, I'm going to move forward and that's it. That's how it is with me. I don't believe in no. I always find another loophole. And he knows that. I see something from a far distance and I see somebody that I'm like, okay, that person is important. That person is not important. You know, I'm going to go after because I'm thinking about my group. I'm thinking about the next step that we need to get to. So for people that's watching and listening, just, you got to stay humble. You got to stay hungry. You know, you got to stay hungry because you can't just sit down and wait. because it's not going to come. You got to go forward, especially now, you know. And I say this now because of all these reality TV shows with, the Voids and all these, shows that's showing all the talent. You know, I see that every week, and I say to myself, look at thousands of people that's entering this competition to be number one. Look at thousands of people. They have talent. Some do, some don't. But the people that do, so just to show you how much harder it's getting in this industry, to become famous or to even be recognized.
And there's so many platforms that it can be done on so many different areas, TikToks and YouTubes and stuff. There's so many ways to get noticed and so many platforms for you to showcase your talent, which is good nowadays.
Yeah, look at your show. You know what I'm saying? We honored to be on your show. Thank you. Thank you for having us on your show, because now all your listeners are listening to us and knowing who the Nas-T Boyz are, and where we came from. And I respect you for that. I thank you.
And I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that wanted to know what you asked during this interview. They wanted to know what happened, how would you guys doing before this, and so forth and so forth. So that's good. I like it.
And the people that's on our social media now gonna know who you are and follow you. And mind you, I got artists that's gonna be like, hey, how can I get on her show? You know what I'm saying? And hey, this is how you got to get on the show and, speak to Carol or whatever. And, but that's how this business is. You help one another.
Network.
To get there.
Yeah, network. Yeah. And I appreciate what you said about the no, because aside from all the other stuff I do, I'm also a life coach. And there's one thing that I teach everyone that I speak to is that no, which means, what is it? So when I use the word no, I like to flip it to on. So from no, that means it's on. So no meaning a negative objection. You turn that into opportunity for negotiation. That's how
Exactly. And that's how I see it. Yeah. You hit right on the nose, because that's how I see it. No, it's going to take me this way.
Yeah.
And you're going to come back around and be like, damn, I'm sorry for saying no, but yes, now. Okay.
Yeah. But that's how it is. And then I always try to encourage people, if it's something negative coming your way, just turn it positive. So a negative objection means what? Opportunity for negotiation. Done, right?
Perfect.
And you guys do it already, and I love it. And I love that you guys were on my show. So I appreciate you, and thank you so much for being on the show. Now, last question is, what is next for the Nas-T Boyz?
Well,
we ain't stripping, I'll tell you that. We too old for that shit.
You are never too old. No, you just vintage.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to dust that OG string out. Saca lo malo, mijo.
At the moment, I think we're just gonna work on the next single. We got a couple shows lined up, and stuff like that. But I think we're gonna concentrate on getting the next single out so that it makes a statement. It catches attention and it lets everybody know that the Nas-T Boyz are back on the scene now that I'm not bound down by the military. I'm free.
So we are going to be in New York, in the Bronx. We have a show. It's going to be May 6th. Is that correct? May 6th in the Bronx. You should come out. Come out, bring your camera, bring whatever you want to bring, and come hang out with us. It's an outdoor event. It's a festival. It's free. And, you're going to meet some other celebrities that's going to be there. I believe they're trying to have other celebrities on this event. So, yeah, come on out. Hang out with us.
All right. So now if I come through, I want a picture with y'all.
You get exclusive. You get exclusive.
Okay. All right. Then I'm coming. I'm in the Bronx. How can I not come?
We will keep posted on all upcoming stuff that's close by. We will definitely keep
your hairs are making me itch.
Leave me alone, guys.
Tell everyone something that nobody knows.
That's why I got heavy ass legs. That's what I'm saying, okay?
Let's see. That nobody knows.
Yes.
I have a temper, which kind of feeds over into behind the scenes when it comes to music and stage and stuff like that.
Facts.
So if rehearsals are supposed to go on, I'm willing to rehearse for 6-7 hours. And you know, the guys are like, come on, man, we got a good hour or two in, we're good. And I'm like, it's not good. It needs to be like better. I know you can't get to perfect, but you know, I may come off a little harsh with my members, but it's only because I want the best for us and I don't want us to look like crap on stage. So I have a short temper when it comes to the sound and how we perform. The step has to be like this. Is your arm going this way or is your arm down here? Or you stepping this way or we stepping left first or right first? Is the head going to? So I'm very, you know, analytical when it comes to stuff like that. And it makes me off as being harsh. I don't know if that was because of my time as a drill sergeant, but it's just, I'm very barky.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Jay?
I'm an open book, man. I listen, who I am, how I am, people see it all the time. I'm an outgoing, funny guy, you know, humble, love people, love showing love, and you know, I have a lot of kids. Gotta go there. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I never leave my kids out. I love my kids. They are my first priority. You know, I breathe. You know, and I have beautiful daughters, and that's just, you know, a lot of people don't know. You know.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome. Okay. Well, again, thank you for sharing your story. Now, for the rest of you, you guys already know, hit your girl up, DM her if you want to be on the show. Thank you for being with us. Stay safe, stay humble, and as always, do it with me, guys. Lift up your arms. Stay fabulous. I love you guys.
we love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.